Welcome, guys, to episode number 6 of Stay Winning Podcast. With me today, I have Seven Durso, my co-host.
How we doing, guys?
Hey, today we want to talk about building a high-performance team, building a team. What are some of the reasons that you need a team to win, Stefan?
Yes, you need a team to help push you to your highest version of yourself, right? If you have people that are not on the same page, they don't have the same values, they don't have the same vision, you're simply not going to achieve your ideal version of yourself for your life, for yourself and your family. So when you're building a team, right, you want to have a similar vision, right? But you also don't want to be around, the same level of people. You want to be around high performers. So if you want to go in a certain direction, you want to be with people who are like-minded, but are also like-minded in growth, and they're also like-minded that will help you raise your level to get yourself to a higher level of yourself, right? So if you're with, lower people, low-minded people, if you would, right? You're not going to grow, right? You're going to stay the same. You're going to stay status quo. So you want to be with a group of people who see your vision, know your vision, and then they'll help you increase your vision too.
Yeah, I agree. Team is meant to always to help you to push to unlock new levels, but as well, like in order you have a team in order to accomplish something. If you're going to a big goal, if you're going to a project, if you're going to a mission, you're gonna find yourself needing like help in every area of life. Whatever you're trying to do, you're always gonna need help. When I look at a team, I look of about winning, right? In order to get like productive work done, you're gonna need a team. If you're going into a big task, every time you go into a new phase of your life, every time you go into a different work environment, you're always working as a team in order to accomplish the same goal, right?
Right.
And one of the most effective, like throughout my military career, the most effective teams, what made the team so good was having guys with different qualities, different backgrounds, working together towards a specific goal, right? But one of the biggest qualities that made that team effective was their mindset. It was individuals with a different mindset than everybody else, and the mindset was the winning mindset.
Oh yeah.
What do you have to tell me about that, bro?
Yeah. So I mean, mindset's everything, right? Without an even keel mindset, without a winning mindset, right, you're gonna get complacent, right? And I really think the common trend, the last 6 episodes that we've talked about is cultivating and building that positive mindset, right, and that winning mindset. And when we define winning mindset, I mean, there's so many elements to it, but the two top things are, right, the two top attributes would be, positivity, continuing growth, right, and focusing not on perfectionism, but on increasing, right, what that winning attitude looks like, what that winning mindset looks like. And then really, I think the ultimate goal would be achieving the highest version of yourself with that winning mindset, with that positive mindset. And that's really that element combined with the personnel, combined with the experience. That's the equation for a winning team.
I like how you mentioned the winning mindset, right? So when you go into a team, everybody has different qualities, right? Everybody had different skill sets. Everybody has some strengths. Everybody has different weaknesses. So that's what makes the teams good, right? So whatever you're slacking, there's someone else. There's always pushing you to be better. For example, on your team, you're gonna have your smart guy. You're gonna have your strong guy, and there's always in that team. There's always a person that is better than you at something else, and that's why you need a team to win. There's always going to be someone that's going to be helping you out. Like, for example, let me see how I made this make sense. So you go into the entrepreneurship world, right? And you have a guy that is really good with media, and the other guy's really well in building connections, building relationships. So you have those two guys working specifically in different tasks but towards the same goal.
Right.
So what are some of the biggest qualities that you look for when you're building your team?
Well, I think plain and simple is who's going to hold me accountable to achieve my goal. And I'm looking for accountability, right? Because you can't do shit by yourself. You need a team. You need people to support you with the knowledge and with the accountability. And those are really the two pieces that I'd be looking for there.
I like how you mentioned accountability. Can you dig a little bit deeper on that? When you are looking for, you mentioned, hey, I'm looking for somebody to hold me accountable. Can you describe that, or go a little bit more into detail with
Yeah,
that?
so I think about that all the time, right? Because when you share your goal with someone, with a team, now they're part of it, right? They're in on it. So if they see you slipping or they see you maybe not, rowing in the right direction, they're going to give you either the help, they're going to give you the nudge, they're going to remind you, and they're going to help you get to that end state, right? And I think accountability goes so much deeper than just a simple reminder, but it's that shared vision, shared understanding, shared suffering, all in order to meet that desired end state that you're building towards, that you're working towards.
Yeah, and so the reason I brought this up, the accountability part, is because it's definitely true. When you're building your team, you want someone that's definitely going to hold you accountable to a certain level of commitment towards that goal. Right? Let's say, for example, you go into a team and you guys say, hey, we're going to run 100 miles, and if both of you guys quit at mile 20, there was not really accountability in there, right?
No accountability there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're building it, when you have a team that's always continuously to pushing you to higher levels, like for example, you might not be a runner, and like at mile 30 you start struggling, but the other individual tells you, is like, you know what, we're doing this regardless. So you need that accountability 100% on that team, on a high performance team. But when it comes to accountability and you have strong personalities, how do you deal with that, right? When you have two alpha males trying to hold each other accountable, how do you do that? How do you accomplish that?
Well, I think it's through accomplishing that goal, and you just kind of remind those two individuals, like, hey, this is what we're working towards. So you could either, shut up or fucking, help us accomplish that goal without putting ego aside, because really what that sounds like to me, it's the emotion. They're putting emotion into it, and if you can remove that emotion to just simply see the factual statement, the factual data that you need to do to accomplish that mission or that goal, right? When you remove them, and that's all you're saying, is you're just removing the emotion from the equation. That's what will define mission success there for those two alpha males.
Yeah, removing that emotion is 100%
Yeah.
one of the things too. Another, I think another really important aspect is the respect that you have for that individual, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of their, in the military, we have a lot of ego with our ranks, right? The more rank you have, the more like people, I don't know, it's like an identity.
It is.
But I think I experienced this a lot where officers were, the respect was one of the biggest things, right? You know, he holds the rank, so you like he has the respect already. But now when you look at an individual and he had like, you can look through him, right? You can look through, not only through the rank, but his personality, the way he acts, the way he leads. And in order to do that, you have to be an example. Like if you're not an example, everybody's gonna read through you. And I think that's one of the biggest qualities when you're working with another individual, is like, you have to respect the individual in order for that team to be like, to be able to hold each other accountable.
Yeah, so I gave a graduation speech a few weeks ago to some doctors, some medical doctors that were just basically direct commissions. So they finished their degrees, they did a program, now they're in the army. Congratulations, right? And these are, I mean, they're coming in as captains, majors, lieutenant colonels, right? So, and they're just putting on these ranks. So they don't have the military experience. They have the medical professional experience. But the thing I talked about with them was be worthy of that rank, because that rank comes with respect. And the biggest thing that, and all the things you're touching on, right? You know, taking care of the men, accomplishing the mission, right? And just being a good steward of the profession. And that's really what it comes down to, especially when we're talking about high performers, being a good steward of whatever topic that you are proficient in, right? You're being the best steward of that. And it's that responsibility that you're bringing. So even if you're the CEO, right, you're still going to have respect for the team, and then, you know, mission focus to accomplish, you know, whether it's that quarter goal or that individual goal that you're building towards. But it's all about mission accomplishment, and it's all about taking care of the team. And that's really what it comes down to at that level with, you know, a position or a rank. So there's just a very brief thoughts on that, but yeah.
So we talk with we mentioned the respect part, the accountability part. What are some of the issues that you see with teams? Why don't you see teams working out? Why have you seen that? You've been in the military for a while. Why have you seen teams fail?
Yeah,
Talk
well,
about
one
that.
was what was egos, right? We kind of addressed it already. When people are not wanting to put their egos aside and just think about them as the individual instead of the team, right? There's no I in team. We've always heard this one before, but really, I mean, it's a simple statement, but it's a true statement. If you're an individual and you're not, you know, you're not wanting to freaking, you know, put your share of the load right on your back, you're not going to be successful. And I think that's the number one reason. Number two, you know, do they have the right resources and equipment, right? Because a lot of the times that's a huge limiting factor or limb fact, right? They're not going to have the resources they need. So now they have to spend that time to acquire the resources, right? To get what equipment they need, whether it's, you know, a physical equipment or kind of like resources, things like that. So I think that's the second one. And then the third one would just be no clear higher intent, or in the military call it commander's intent. If the commander is not clear on what he or she is wanting to accomplish, right? Then how can the team be successful? So yeah, just to recap, it's putting the egos aside, right? Making sure you have the equipment necessary. And then, of course, do you have clear guidance on what you are trying to accomplish? And those are the three areas really where teams can fail.
I'm glad you mentioned I'm glad you mentioned the ego, man. I think that's one of the biggest
Yeah.
killers when it comes to building a team. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what team. Like when you are working with a bunch of alpha males, or when you're working with a bunch of guys that are working towards a common goal, like you can't have no ego. And I think that was one of the reasons why the special operations teams are successful, because most of the guys are they have multiple combat deployments. They have a lot of years working with another guys, and they're able to identify, as I meant, like this is just our ego getting in our way. Let's put it aside and let's solve the problem, right? Let's work together towards this specific goal. And like you mentioned, leadership, like commander's intent. It's like you have to have a solid leader in order for the team to work out.
Sure.
If you have weak leadership, it's gonna fall apart, right? Not only that, you have a clear you need to have that specific clear goal. What are we trying to achieve? Not only the specific goal, is like what is the reason behind that goal? Why are we trying to accomplish this? And that goes back to our last episodes, like when you put that why behind, or when you put that intention, it changed. When you put the purpose behind what we're doing, it kind of changes the things, right? And you get that. That's how you motivate a bunch of guys. Hey, let's go accomplish that. And
Yeah.
I think a really important one is communication as well.
Yeah. I mean,
Can you describe some of the qualities that what the best team you've been, like one of the best teams you work with, like some a team that really marked you, like it
Yeah.
created like integrated some values on you.
Well, I really think, right, the first one is like we're going to be given a task that's I don't want to say monumental, but like it's an important task, meaning we have ownership of that task, right? Um good, good friends are always like another great piece of a team, because I think that friendship is based off shared suffering. We've accomplished something huge, and now you kind of have that unity together, right? So you and then you kind of had that similar background too, and then when kind of like when you're the little dog, and then you freaking accomplish something big, and you just feel that like that big dog. That's I think that's pretty awesome to accomplish, and then just knowing about what you just accomplished too. So I really think it's about the mark of a good team is overcoming, and what I'm describing, okay, little word exercise here. It's adversity. A team that overcame adversity is always a mark of a winning team, because no great team has not accomplished something monumental, and that's all about adversity. It's all about overcoming adversity. So that's really, that's, to me, if I was going to summarize it, it's overcoming adversity as a team.
Yeah, 100%. I think adaptability is a big one too. It's like when you're working with another person, when you're working with a team, you have to be adaptable. You have to be adaptable to timelines. You have to be adaptable to what they're trying to accomplish. And that's another good quality of being a good leadership. It's like, hey man, you have to be adaptable. Like shit's gonna go wrong. You're gonna get angry at each other. You're gonna get frustrated with each other. But like, if you're able to communicate, if you're like able to adapt to that to that person, to those challenges, once you break through the adversity, like it's gonna make the team not only stronger, but it's gonna help you as well as with leadership.
Oh, for sure.
So summarizing, when building a team, right? When building a high performance team, it all comes down to your leadership, to your being adaptable, dropping your egos. What other things should we add to this summary, brother?
Yes, I mean, really, it's flexibility, adaptability, shared mindset that's built through shared suffering, and then just finding a team that's going to get you to that highest version of yourself, and it's going to bring you to mission accomplishment. And as you define that mission, you will be successful as a team, and you'll build each other up through that shared experience and that shared knowledge together.
Oh, yeah, man, 100%. That summarizes for this episode, guys. If you are looking into building a high performance team, remember you have to be adaptable, good leadership, flexibility, and most important, like leave your egos aside. I hope you guys got something from this episode. Stefan, again, I appreciate your time,
Of course,
and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
appreciate you too, brother. Talk to you soon.